Good morning, girls. For today's lesson, you're going to work remotely. Now, I have posted the task for the lesson in your Google Classroom. Now, the task is on a Google slide, and when you open it, you shall see the instructions for the lesson. So what you're expected to do is to program an animated habitat that incorporates animated animals and plants from a food chain that respond when they interact with each other. E.g., when the hawk touches the mouth says yucks, or the hawk says yum. Now, this is part of us practicing how to use the repeat blocks and the if-then block. Now remember, I said the repeat blocks are forever, repeat until, or just repeat. Now the other block that we've been practicing how to use is the if-then block. Now it's a decision block. So this task is going to help you practice and then see how they work. After that, you're going to be able to apply them. Try to use them in your own game. But for this task, we're going to start by creating this game that is about food chains. So the task is that you will click a link that I've provided to take you to where you start coding. Now, girls, remember, you have to log into Scratch to start coding. I have the work loaded in your Scratch. Now, it is through that link, and you have to click Save Now for you to have it in your profile. So you already have that with animals. There's the rat, there's the hawk, and there's the grasshopper. And your job is going to involve to create codes. Now, I have given you codes for the rat, because you will choose the rat, and then you will use these codes to program the rat. And that also. And then you will go to the next one. All that is the hawk, and you will use those codes to program the hawk. And then for the grasshopper, it's not yet coded. The grasshopper also is the beetle. It's not coded. You're meant to create your own codes for the grasshopper. So you have to look at the codes that you have looked at for the other animals, and then try and come up with your own code for the grasshopper. So the codes must make the grasshopper perform some action that is relevant to the food chain. Now remember, as you code the grasshopper, can you try and use at least one repeat block and the if-then block? We are going to use that knowledge we will acquire during this lesson to see how we can apply it to our game. Remember, we started coding our games, and I told you to write codes for your first sprite or character. Now, you're going to continue on your own, coding your own game. But I'm going to demonstrate how the task for the lesson will look like. So when you open the link, it will bring you here. I have already put for you a background. I have put 3 sprites, the rat, the hawk. The hawk also has a costume as a fox, so don't really worry. And then there's the grasshopper. Now, your job is going to be to program, write codes for them. And where will you find the codes? The codes are very easy to find. I have given you the codes on these slides here. Like, for example, the hawk, this is one of the codes. There are 2 codes for the hawk. The rat has more codes. The rat has 3 codes. So when you're programming or when you are coding a sprite, you must be on that sprite. So if I want to code the rat, I have to make sure the rat is the one that is blue before I start creating the code. Now remember, Ms. Bora said for the grasshopper, I do not have codes on the slide. You have to think and create your own code that will make the grasshopper do something. Now, the grasshopper is also the beetle. So once you've done that, I want you to take a screenshot when you are on each sprite, like when you're on the right, take a screenshot. And then I have posted another slide where you have 3 slides. So the screenshot for the rat will be put under here. The screenshot for your codes for the hawk will come under here. And the screenshot for your code for the grasshopper will come here. Now, when you're taking your screenshots, I want the whole screen. Don't put full screen. I want to see the codes. I want to see the sprites. I want to see the background. So don't go to full screen for this screenshots because I need to see the codes as well as the sprites and the background. Make sure you work during this lesson and try to complete your work. This work is due tomorrow, so you have to hand it in after the lesson. It's not homework. This is not homework. Your homework is something else. Your homework will be to program your game. Right now, you are working on this task. So good luck, girls. Please make sure you give it your best and make sure you hand in your work. I also want to remind you the checklist for the summative assessment tasks. Please go check that checklist. Some of you still have work pending. Go check, see what is still red and complete it. I'm going to return the work that needs completion because I've recorded if you missed it. So if you have any questions, please type in Google Classroom and I shall respond. Have a good day.